Yo, whether rapping or podding, we right here, we ain't hiding. Osama, yeah, but not Bin Laden. We bless mics, no demoralizing. Sneakers with checks and gummy bottoms. Stylish potters, you heard about 'em. We ain't new around here. We been here a couple years. Switched it up to the mornings. Switched to coffee from the beers. Better audio for your ears. Set done came from light years. Some been with us from the jump, and there's some newcomers here. Well, thanks for tuning in the show. Episode 90 is coming near. Said mic check 1 2 1 2. We about to pod. What about you, motherfucker?
You must have practiced that.
I really didn't.
Adam did not just come in here with that off the top of his head. He's
I swear I
been
did.
in his head all day at work while he's here in this same room working.
I don't even be working when I'm in this room.
This is where you work. Isn't that your work desk? All right, well.
It's a lie. I work. I prefer not to work.
Like the first 15 minutes of this podcast is me just trying to figure out where do I want this fucking mic stand to be.
Dude, that's all it always is. And it's like it
I like it to be an armrest.
it dictates the way that I sit, you know? So it's like stupid.
Don't call me
hate it.
stupid. You're stupid.
Hate it, you know?
That's how that stops. It's been a week. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
You must have forgot. We should also let them know that I won't be here next week.
Before we do that, let's get into why, again, even though we had a whole episode talking about this, are you wearing another pod's shirt on our pod?
I
About to
had.
fire you.
You're fired. These nuts, motherfucker.
You see that shirt to the left of me? That's what you should be wearing, not a yellow Joe Budden
You ain't
podcast
talking
shirt.
to me with.
The same guys who are on that shirt aren't even on the pod anymore.
That means it's vintage, bitch.
That shit is vintage, but it's not a collector's
This
item
shit's
yet.
motherfucking vintage.
Wait another 25 years, then it'll be maybe worth.
It's vintage enough right now.
It's not.
I don't think they're.
See, I
coming.
got the-
I
I
don't
got-
think they're coming back.
I got the shirt that doesn't have pictures of them on it. Mostly because I don't like to have pictures of dudes on my shirt. I got a picture of a duck.
Dude, this is like the silhouette. You got a picture of a duck. Isn't that Donald Duck?
This is this is Mighty Duck. No,
That's Donald Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
No, Darkwing has a wing.
The shirt said it on the tag.
Don't you ever? How do you not know who Darkwing Duck? You better watch out, you bad boys. Darkwing Duck.
I was actually watching that too long ago on Disney Plus. Disney Plus is pretty nice, man. Like I usually don't go on there now because HBO Max puts the new movies out, and I still haven't watched Mortal Kombat. I planned on doing that.
Everybody has mixed reviews. Yo, so DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Scrooge McDuck, they made a whole motherfucking franchise off of just the same duck.
Yeah,
Scrooge was Darkwing, and Darkwing was Daffy.
yeah. And Donald,
And Donald.
but not really.
Not really,
Donald
but
was different than the rest of them. But
yeah, but like
he's the only different duck.
But at the same time, I mean, it's like, but they were all great cartoons. Yo,
They were
kids
great.
are missing out. I don't know what cartoons are now these days, and maybe they're good, but I doubt it.
Kids are gonna have to miss out because you know why? Because of cancel culture. Because they say,
Oh, you can't do
those things
anything
were-"
anymore. Like,
Yeah.
listen, it's
No,
a
they're like,
cartoon.
oh, DuckTales, that was bad because they were telling tales of ducks and they don't know the duck's perspective.
Tom and Jerry, they were like, oh man, he was being
This is too true to life.
It's speciesism. What is it? Speciesism?
Is that
That's a word. Speciesism, I believe, is a word.
what like when one wild animal attacks another animal in the wild?
No, I think
because-
it's when you're being like, or no, maybe speciesist, which sounds stupid, but I believe that's a word too.
So is that implying that like other wild animals can have? The
I like my
capacity
species
to
more
be-
than your species.
Okay, I mean, so does that only work human to human? 'Cause
No,
we're
I don't
all still
think
the same
so.
Species, so
I think
So is this-
that you've seen how dogs and cats
Is
interact
the-
most of the time. Cats be beating the shit
so
out
the
of dogs.
implication is that wild animals have the capacity to have that like prejudice that
No,
fuck your species, I'm gonna
I
come
mean,
eat you.
I don't believe that. Maybe they don't, but listen.
It's like lions eating gazelles. They're like, fuck your
So
species.
so I guess this is a good tangent. Okay, first of all, maybe we should introduce ourselves because this is going to be a story.
Man, listen, the way I always want.
I know it's supposed to be organic, but this is a murderous story. This may take a
It's
while.
supposed to be organic because I'm supposed to be like, let's get ready to podcast. That's gonna be how I start things from now on.
You just did it. Did you start?
Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
carnival going folk. This is episode number what?
I'll
Number
never
what?
get that.
Number what?
90?
Number what? Number what? Number what? What? Yeah, that's right. 90.
I
90
told you he's been practicing all
I
week.
have not been practicing any
all
of this
week.
shit.
All
This
you've
is
been
just
doing.
me being generally excited about the fact that we've hit 90 episodes now. That means 14 episodes from now, we will have 2 full years worth of podcast content.
I was gonna say, where are you going? Like 10 is 100. Where the fuck is 104 episodes? What kind of stupid mark is
Well,
that?
I mean, listen, whoever decided that a week is 50 or a year is 52 weeks, why
Time
don't you
is
just make it an even
time
50
is
weeks?
made up.
Exactly. So
Time
why don't you
doesn't
just
really exist.
So why don't you just make it an even 50 weeks?
We
It would've
don't
made
even
things
have-
way easier.
Do you think if we, as a human species, as a human, like, okay, so time is made up, right? Time is a made up thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, do you think if we didn't do ourselves the disservice of breaking our lives down into years and age, that we would feel like life
happier?
is longer and be happier?
We would probably. But before we get into all that, welcome to the show. I am your host, Adam, here with my brother,
Think about
Osama.
that shit.
Shout out to all the viewers and all the listeners and people who tune in at any given point in time. From the impressions, the people who like watch the first 5 minutes of this, welcome to the show. Hopefully you'll stick around because
Please do so.
YouTube tells me that you exist.
Stay away.
But yes, episode
stay away.
90 of the Kiona and Kasson podcast. That's pretty nice.
Every now and then I get a little bit terrified. I see that fucking look in your eye.
Turn around.
Oh, such a
Old
great.
school is great. That whole scene is ridiculous.
That
he's
guy
trying to
is
go underneath
awesome.
That chick's dress, trying to wipe the whatever he spilled on her. Frank, no, that's inappropriate.
We went off the rails real quick right there.
Well, so we were talking about if the concept of time didn't exist, would humans be happier?
I think we would. I think we'd be much happy. I think life would seem longer. I think you would be like, whoa, this shit is long.
You get to the point like, damn, when is this going to end?
I guess we break things down because as humans, maybe we have to compartmentalize things
Yeah, I think
in order
so.
to process them more. Like, oh, this was a year, 365 days. Whereas if you were just like, no, a year would seem like, dude, this is for, you wouldn't even know the concept.
Who got
of a
us
year.
here though?
So life would just be.
Who got us here? Who said that?
You would just know that the days end and the nights. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Who
the
determined
sun rises
the
and
length of a
falls.
second? Who said 60 seconds is a minute? Who said 60 minutes is an
Well,
hour?
you
Like,
had to
who determined these things?
People.
Yeah, I mean, no shit. That's the main point here, right? So, like, how did you, like, maybe my life should really be like 1,000 years if you cut it down from less, like, if a year is not 365 days.
So are you saying that based on, so
It's all based
kind
on
of-
the sun
so
and the
kind of
rotations of
what-
the earth. I'm not stupid. I know that.
right,
like-
but kind of like we were just talking about. Like, so basically, you're saying that if we were to assess time differently, our lives would actually be long. Like, fuck, man,
Yeah.
I am ready to go. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's all a mental thing, right? Because you're talking about like, all right, I'm looking at my life in terms of years. The average lifespan is going to be however long. I could go much earlier or much later. It's really hard to tell. I don't really know how it really helps us.
Yeah, time only helps the guys.
It gives
that
me
are-
like a baseline of what I can kind of expect based on my demographic, but like
time works
not
only
my family history.
Time seems to only work against you, right? It helps
Oh,
your
for sure.
bosses because they say you got to work 8 hours,
Yeah.
right? So you got to work 8 hours for this guy. The rest of your day just seems like to fly fucking by. So you wake up again, and now you got another 8 hours for that guy.
When
for
you're
the
a
man.
pawn, you're working against
for
the
the
clock.
man.
When you're a pawn, you work against the clock the whole time. When you're the boss, you control the clock.
Hey, wasn't there a time where Daniel's favorite movie, our little brother Daniel, was Undercover Brother?
Yeah.
Undercover Brother is a hilarious movie.
He
And I only brought it up because the movie of that,
some of his favorite things are hilarious.
the theme
like,
of that movie is the man.
when he was like 7, he loved to hear T.I. What You Know. Like he would always ask to put that on. Shout out to
that's
Daniel,
pretty
little
funny.
goofy ass.
Indeed, he don't listen anyway.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So like what I was getting into
Opposite
because
shout out to Daniel now that I think about it. And opposite shout out to Glenn too.
for sure, opposite shout out to Glenn. I haven't spoken to that man in years.
Yeah, I don't know what he'd be up to.
He probably doesn't even know we still do this.
I'm pretty sure he knows, but like
What if he
doubt
watches
he
every
watches.
time? He's like number 9. He tallies it off. The tick
It's
mark.
like, okay, there's 90 episodes. They've done it maybe 84 times. Like, they, for some reason, didn't do it a couple times.
They like forgot, and then they realized what they were doing.
Didn't forget. It's just like, sometimes I throw him a bone. I don't know why. He don't even pay attention. He doesn't.
Nah, he don't. So anyway, listen.
Yeah.
Did I tell the story last week of the bunny rabbit? Because I always I call rabbits bunnies. I don't know why. Because fucking Bugs Bunny.
I'm sure that you. Is there a difference? I'm sure.
I think bunny
right?
isn't the bunny is like I think a baby rabbit.
Bunny, rabbit, and hare. Like are the
hair? Just you got some hair in your backyard. Like what? The fuck did you just say? It's like, somebody commit a murder. And speaking of murders,
yeah, go about your story.
Anyway, right? So
sensitive material head. If you're a sensitive
kind
viewer,
of.
yeah,
kind of.
I mean, it doesn't come with photos.
If you got a heart, it may tug at your heartstrings for a second. So anyway, listen. I'm going to set it up because I don't remember how much I got into this last week, but I had a rabbit set up shop in my backyard while I was on vacation.
Silly wabbit.
Silly wabbit. Anyway,
turned out to be.
We got back. There's a rabbit in there. And we're like, okay.
Was a mistake.
Vivi's like, I think she's pregnant. I was like, how do you know she's a she?
She could be fat,
right? And we're not fat shaming, but sometimes fat is fat.
I want to get into that later on too.
All right. Well, anyway, listen. So, so I'm like, all right, we'll see. She said. So we started looking it up, and the way rabbits give birth is they find a patch of grass, right? But I think they clear it out, so it's just to the dirt a little bit, so they can kind of blend in. They dig a little bit of a hole, like burrow a hole, and then they give birth. And then they cover that hole up with dead grass and some of their fur together. And I don't know how it stays together, but they do their thing, and they cover it up. So
nature has way, man. Same way birds form a nest. I don't know what the hell they be doing.
Yeah, like, dude, this isn't safe at all. Why'd you leave it?
9,000
imagine the babies.
6.
So my problem with this is I feel like the possibility, people are like, oh, animals, they only act off instinct, which is true, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a conscience and they're not thinking. Every cartoon I've ever watched has said that these things have voices. Anyway, so they're sitting in this they're sitting in this hole together, right? Which I believe only one made it. Mm-hmm. All right. And I think what happens is if one if
how big are the litters?
I don't know, but I feel like if they just like the hamsters we had when we were kids, Max and Felicia, I feel like if they determine that the babies can't make it, they eat them.
I don't know how they determine that. Maybe they just eat them.
I'm pretty sure
they're like, man, I'm full, so you're gonna make it.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
I swear, I don't think there was.
I've lived because mom ate the rest of the kids and felt like she couldn't stuff me down. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to eat half of me.
Hamsters
that's fucked man. Up. You ate half of me, bitch.
Yeah.
You couldn't just wait for your next meal.
Those 2 hamsters that we had, I will never ever consider getting another hamster.
No, hamsters are a weird bunch of fucking animals. So anyway, back to the bunny.
Right.
She gives birth, and so she's doing for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Like, she was there, we'd see her once in a while. I'd spot her with one baby, and she was doing her thing, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna chase her out of my backyard. Let her thrive, because let the babies try to grow up a little bit and live.
Respect.
Word. Anyway, so I hadn't seen her for a few days, and then one day I walk out of my house into my backyard going to work. Mind you, it is 6:10, 15 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Look to my left, and in the grass there is a little baby rabbit, but got hair now. It seems to have grown out a little bit.
Yeah.
Murdered. And I say murdered, right? Because to say that it had been attacked for its nutritional value, right? For something that was famished and needed some nourishment and sustenance, would be wrong. Because
she was just straight out of hate.
It was murdered, man.
Hey,
they murdered that motherfucker.
Hey,
dude. So literally, this thing was in multiple pieces, right? Like it looked as if somebody had come there and was like, ah, ripped it, threw it on the ground, and just walked
Talking
away.
about Mortal Kombat, it got a fatality on that damn thing.
Something performed a fatality on this fucking little baby rabbit.
Finish him.
Dude, it was
fatality.
It's the weirdest thing. So I'm like, what the fuck?
It's like a saber just came and sliced his ass in half as he ran through.
I don't know what we were like. What the hell could have happened, right? So I had to go to work. I'm like in my car, like, wow, poor. Like now, what's in my head is okay. It has a conscience. It was like, don't date me. And like
maybe it happened so fast, didn't even know.
No, this did unless this was like, I don't know what could perform such a task. Like
Never
what
saw
animal?
it coming. That's how he got it. What? Never even thought of it.
I don't think raccoons would do it. I don't think a raccoon can just sit there and just take a baby rabbit and split it in two. Right?
And raccoons are scavengers.
They'll eat it all. Yeah. The whole thing. That's why I'm like, nothing ate it. So, okay, now my idea is maybe it was a bird. Right? Because birds, but like a nocturnal
owl, bird.
Like an owl came and was like, a one.
Well, who's to say when it happened?
A three.
Sun be up before I wake up, so it could happen, early in the morning. Birds be up early.
It was weird. All I know is I don't know what happened to it. So we go out that next night to go get some food, and I tell Vivi, do not look to the left. It is a murderous scene. I should have had like yellow tape and the chalk outline. It was bad. She glances. She's like, oh my God, what the fuck could have done that? I was like, dude, I got no clue, but we got to be careful in this backyard, apparently. So long story short, something murdered a rabbit in my backyard. It wasn't murdered for food. There was nothing, unless it was pecked for like the internals, and that's why I think it was
to set the scene a little bit for Sam's backyard, like it's pretty long, right? And there's no trees in it, so like there's no cover in the backyard. So it could have been anything really, like
anything. But the problem is there's a 6-foot fence
on both sides.
Covering the backyard is completely like there is a 6.
Well, if you know anything about Chicago yards, usually like the different fences sometimes.
Right. But we have 6 foot on both sides, and I don't know what the fuck came there. I've never just seen another random animal just chilling in my fucking backyard that couldn't get underneath the fence. I've never seen a cat. Like cats will make their way through people's backyard. Never once seen a cat. Right, Vivi's like, what is it? Maybe it was a dog. I was like, ain't no fucking dog that big gonna get into this backyard and still not be here.
I don't know what
his ass will be just trapped in the backyard, pissed off the whole.
I don't know what dog is clearing that 6-foot fence, but you better get him on TV.
No,
better go make some money off that dog.
I have another dog story, but we can get into that a little later.
Yeah,
but yeah, so like,
well, rest in peace to the rabbit.
Rest in peace. I felt so bad that day.
Terrifying.
I was like, what the fuck, dude? That is a murder. That is a terrible death.
Dude, listen. Everything I know.
How do you cut it in half without being like a human being?
Everything I know about rabbits implies that they are on this earth to be prey.
Yeah, I feel so bad for
They're
rabbits.
only literally there. And like, luckily, they were gifted with speed and agility because those things are quick. I've seen literally, look.
They're just so fucking goofy, man.
In the suburbs, the speed limit is 45 miles an hour, right? So I was like driving down the street one day, and it was late, mind you, probably like 10:30, and so it was dark outside. A lot of coyotes out this way. And right in front of my car, a rabbit ran in front. And I was going 45, 50 miles an hour, right? There's no traffic at 10:30. And then behind me, I looked, and I swear I saw coyotes like trying to chase after me. But that thing was flying. I don't think that coyote was catching him. That guy was gone, man.
But they be so
like, you ain't getting me tonight.
They are so goofy, but they are very fast.
Yeah.
But they're part of their their defense mechanism is to just stop and just look. And if I don't move, maybe they won't see me.
Yeah.
That's part of their defense mechanism.
I think that's their defense mechanism when they get a little fat, and they're like, I'm not gonna outrun this thing. So maybe if I just sit still,
they literally just be like.
And they got the shadows.
They have that look where they're just like
they are the deer in the headlights, the smaller game.
Definition. And this one I felt so bad because she was like, so I kind of gave her like, I think she got the vibe that it was okay to like be around the backyard.
She's like, all right, they ain't trying to chase me out.
So dude, she would literally be a few feet from me as I walked past her, and it'd be cool. And then next thing you know, her little baby gets murdered, and she probably blames it on me. She can't come back.
So let's look at the possibilities, right? Outside of a bird, so birds are going to be a possibility because they can fly into your yard.
That's probably the biggest possibility.
Squirrel.
A squirrel
squirrels ain't doing that.
I think that's a fair fight. That's a fair one.
That's a fair one, but I don't think squirrels are even trying to kill a rabbit like
yeah,
that.
I'm saying like
Squirrels
that-
are some of
it-
the most peaceful animals. They just run around and
it
enjoy
doesn't
life.
end that way if like either way if somebody like nobody ends cut in half if there's a squirrel and a rabbit going together.
So then you go back to raccoon. Because raccoons,
But
fat
raccoon-
asses, for some
yeah,
reason, are
I've
able to
seen-
get up into
I've
yards like
seen
that.
some fat ass raccoon on my garage. So
They're ridiculous, man. Like,
big,
those things
big
are relentless.
weeble wobble motherfuckers, but
Yeah.
they don't fall down.
Nope. I don't know. So I don't know.
Anyway, that was
Probably a
my
bird.
story. It was fucking terrible, man. Like, if you guys have any idea who the fuck could murder a fucking besides a human that came in and was like ah ha, ha, ha.
Like fucking Sid from Toy
That's
Story.
exactly what I have in my head. Sid is exactly who I'm thinking about.
Strap a rocket to his back and
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
kid is
Motherfucker! And just rips him in half and just throws him in my. I also thought maybe it was my neighbor, right? I was like, okay, maybe this happened in my neighbor's yard, but he didn't want to have to deal with it, right? So he threw. But the way but that's
That's fucked up too.
I assessed that, and I just felt like it was impossible because he would have had to have literally throw it so precise because it looks like it was chopped in half in the order in which it laid.
I would feel like I would want to know if it was him. You know, because I'm be like, yo, if you
like,
threw a dead rabbit,
You
in my
go
yard
in the
pieces-
house, ding dong, ding dong. Hey, you in there?
What
He'd be like, yo. I'd be like, yo. This may sound a little weird, but also maybe familiar if you know what I'm talking about. Did a rabbit get murdered in your backyard and
Nah.
you just threw that motherfucker
I
over
would-
the fence?
I think I would just mildly inconvenience his life for the rest of the time I lived there. I put flaming bags of shit. Shit
That's
poop.
not mild
He
inconvenience.
called the shit poop.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's
No,
so,
but he would never know that it was
We
me.
live in Chicago, man. I'm pretty sure if the burning poop is burning, like I'm gonna get a whiff of that in my window. I might, like that's not helping nobody.
I'm just saying, like,
Like
small,
man, somebody burned it. Phoebe's gonna be like, somebody burned some shit. I'd be like, yeah.
I'm just talking about.
Unfortunately,
small,
it was me.
Small passive aggressive acts of like revenge. You know, doesn't have to be flaming shit poop. He called the shit poop. Doesn't have to be that. But I'm just saying, like,
That was a.
if you're gonna do that to me,
It's not advisable.
What
if
if
he was
I-
like across the street, even that'd be probably a bad idea. Because maybe once in a while the wind shifts, it comes to my window and not
listen,
his.
man.
Now he's got flaming shit on his porch,
Real-
but I'm the one with the sniffing smells. That
Real G's are willing to put themselves through a little bit to go
Through
put the
shit?
other people through a lot of
through
shit.
literal burning shit.
Fucking man. All right. Well, hey, look. At least you know that you can get one over on you and not have to worry about too much revenge.
But the thing is, what if it wasn't him? What if it was the other neighbor and
I
they
would-
just got
I
a good
said
throw?
if you could
They got a good
verify.
toss.
I'm saying if you could verify, not like I'm just gonna automatically start doing this.
All right, we haven't talked about nothing.
Whatever, you know.
R.I.P.
it's pretty
to the
typical
little
for us. R.I.P. to the little rabbit. Let's get the R.I.Ps out of the way right now because this is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, we're losing a lot.
It's just week after week at this point. Rest in peace, Shock G.
I'm shocked. G, the
Yeah.
one who put the satin on your panties.
For those who aren't familiar, go look up Digital Underground. Look up the Humpty Dance. It's your boy right there.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure most people by
Humpty
now
Hump.
know that Humpty is Shock G, but I guess I'm not that I'm like 100% like savvy on the history of all his
Yeah.
doings, but I mean I know that he's part of Digital Underground, which was part of the where Pac got his start,
Yep.
and they were good friends. He was young, man,
57, I think.
57, which is crazy.
Which has been the theme, right? Like the last
Yeah.
three DMX, he was what 50,
50.
and then Black Rob, not Black Rob,
Black Rob, yeah.
drawing a blank here, sorry, but yeah, Black Rob, he was what, like 56, 50.
I think he was
something
even
like
around 51, maybe. I don't
Crazy, man.
want to. You might want to check that up so we can. I got the timer going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, man. R.I.P. Rest in peace to Shock G.
Rest in peace to Shock G. Rest in peace, Black Rob and DMX. Rest in peace to all of them. And enough. Like what? I don't know what's going on right now. What's in the air? But
Peace, love, and humptiness.
yeah, word. I don't know why I can't find his age. on
No,
here.
but I mean, I know he was in his early 50s, but we're losing a lot of legends. But I think we have to become aware that at this point we
He was
are.
53.
Yeah, I mean, very young.
We're going to be 53.
So 52.
Yep.
So we have to become aware of the idea that at this point in our lives, we're getting to where a lot of the legends we grew up on and grew up with, to some extent,
Yes and no. I mean, a
Or
lot
leaving.
of this is premature, you know?
No, 100%. But when these guys, I don't know what the cause of his death was, and I don't want to make speculation. But
Yeah.
these guys live long lives, long, life. They live multiple lifetimes in one. You know what I mean? Like,
they've moved. They went more miles.
yeah, they've
so to
moved
speak.
exactly. It's like we hoop, but like at multiple basketball players who like professional basketball players, the mileage on their legs is just incomparable. Like there's
Yeah.
no way to compare the two. But so basically, like our lives are regular, right? But like what they've gone through, they're touring, they're rap. They go from they do a lot of venues and they're special.
Yeah.
So there's more to them.
Mhm.
Their lives are a little bit. They've lived longer in a shorter span of time.
It's weird because like they're kind of trading stresses, right? So you're like shifting the grind, the hood, all the daily like struggle, and now you have money, you got all that shit's taken care of as a different kind. But now you're balancing the stress of now you're a public figure, you're constantly being like rushed up by the public because they want to see you, take a picture with you, get an autograph, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you can't just like live a peaceful existence to some degree, And the ones that do, I mean, the story is not usually like a good story,
No, and
So-
it's yeah, I don't know. I mean,
And also, I don't know if we discussed this, but Scottie Pippen lost his son.
yes, yes.
so-
Can you look up the son's name? We got to be respectful and at least
Yeah.
say that.
Um,
That he was
33, I believe.
33 years old. That's
It's young, and I don't know.
that's insane, man. I don't know. Like they didn't disclose. I guess he said he had severe asthma. They didn't say that was the cause of death.
No, but it sounds like it could have been possibly. And I don't want to
But
speculate.
it could have been
COVID
related to that. Which
it was
is terrible.
Antron Pittman.
Antron
so
Pittman.
rest in peace to that gentleman.
Rest in peace, sir. Shout out to Scotty and his family.
Yep. Scotty's had a hard few years, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
He's gone through a lot. So
Indeed. Scotty is in general not had an easy life.
yeah.
If you watch The Last Dance, you can see a lot of the history behind what, he took money that he needed because I think he have like a
He had
brother.
a huge family.
His brother was like somebody was like in a wheelchair or confined to a wheelchair. I don't know who exactly it was in his family.
Yeah.
I don't want to guess, but he caught. That's why they say that Scottie Pippen was so underpaid within his career because the first contract he took kind of with a like with between a rock and a hard place. He needed the money.
Yeah.
Obviously he knew that if he held out, he would get more, but he needed the sure thing because at that point he also was having like back spasms and things of that nature. So,
and let's not overshadow like how the league was kind of dirty and to some degree back then. Like they know what the kind of your situation is, and they're playing to that in their favor.
Yeah,
and it might have just been the Bulls being dirty. But.
No, I think but I think that they told him that if he decides that this is if he's okay, he picks this, if he decides that this is okay with him, not to come back and ask for more money. But like, because he knew that they knew, and he knew that he could make more. But he was again signing the short thing because he had to support his family, and he's had a not to go to do a deep dive into Scottie Pippen, but he has had a rough go.
Yeah.
And just one more hit, man. And
Larsa dirty ass. No.
Shout out to your family, and rest in peace to your son, man.
Yes, absolutely. Now let's move on to things that aren't
but
depressing,
also rest in peace to Shock G.
Yes.
And your legacy is what it is, man, and it can't be disputed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your contribution to the music and the culture we love.
If you're not familiar, go get familiar. Do yourself a favor.
100%.
With anybody who's passed, even in the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, it's been so many. But just go get familiar, man. Do yourself a favor and learn more about their contributions and why the world is mourning them the way they are.
Because history is lost on folks, man, and you need to know. That it's cliche and it sounds funny, but again, to get to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been.
Right.
And it behooves you to understand the past. But if you're in a field, to understand what the past was like, to understand where the future's going and what you should be doing.
Yeah. 1000%.
But yeah, again, shout out to all of the loss that we've had within the last week if we've not touched on it.
Yep.
But around here is where if we had a soundboard, you'd hear some sort of more something to change the mood other than silence and a shift the conversation. But that being
anyway,
said,
yes, our thoughts are with the families of everybody and the fans and everybody who's just mourning along with us. But yes, let's shift over here because we don't have a nice little thing to kind of shift us out sound wise. So it's based on our voices at this point. But you know what? The other day, I was getting ready to take my dog out, right? And
right.
And I was like, nah, I gotta pee first. So I went to his bathroom, and
Right.
And mind you, he pretty much he had to go. Like he was letting me know, like, you gotta take me outside, right? So he was waiting outside the bathroom door. I got to thinking, like, when you're as a human being, when you gotta pee and you like hear like that running water, some people got that effect where like it makes them have to go even more type of thing. Like, you think dogs have that?
No, I don't think.
Do you think they get a sense of urgency?
Like stage fright? I don't think.
No, not stage fright. Like, all right, if you have to pee, for instance, and you go to the bathroom, when you're in the bath, like you say you have to pee real bad, in the bathroom, like your mind is like kind of speeding you up. Like, all right, you're here. Like, hurry up, let's go. You ever really have that happen?
No, I full disclosure, have had stage fright in a bathroom.
What were you afraid of?
No, it's just a weird. So I remember I was at a Chicago Fire game, right? This was some years back, probably over 10 years ago, more for sure over 10 years ago, and so we were at this game, and at intermission or whatever the fuck they have in soccer games,
Halftime?
I don't think it's halftime. Anyway, so at that point, everybody gets up, go to the concession, goes to the bathroom.
Right.
So
Seventh inning stretch type thing.
the bathroom on our side had, no lie, there was so many dudes like lined up, right? Like there's like, let's say there's 8 urinals.
A lot of dudes in here.
There's a lot of dudes in here, man. So let's say there was 10 urinals, right? And then like probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 stalls. For the urinals, there was, let's say 10 urinals, there was 10 lines of at least like 20 guys. I was like, this is weird, man. Like, bathroom situation where like we were in line to
but
take
it's better
a
than when they have like the trough or whatever.
I don't pee there
That's
either,
the nastiest shit of all time.
Weird. You'll see me.
You couldn't put separate urinals in here?
That, for those of you who don't know, and I think they may have changed it at this point, but in Wrigley they have in the men's bathroom it's not a
big
toilet.
slop sink.
It's a slop sink. It's essentially like a big
Gross.
laundry sink.
And dudes just stand next to each other and just pee in it.
Pee in a bowl, man. You pee in a bowl together.
Fucking gross, dude.
It's fucking hilarious.
Fucking
I don't pee there,
gross, bro.
but man, those bathrooms be fucked up anyway. You go to those bathrooms, they're like somebody, while they took a shit, were beating the toilet with a fucking sledgehammer. Like, what the fuck did you do?
Hey, man, people are fucking nasty. That's the one thing I've learned beyond a reasonable doubt in my life.
So I don't know. Have I talked about how I was a maintenance guy at Costco on this podcast?
I don't know, man. We're 90 episodes in. I don't remember what you said.
So I worked at Costco as a maintenance person.
Mhm.
I don't know, in the maintenance department. So this meant, well, we
a
are
maintainer.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally just, I cleaned bathrooms, the floors, I stocked things like, whatever, changed out the garbage and small things.
You were
but
Costco's bitch is what you were saying.
But I didn't really, nobody held me accountable for whatever. Like, I would just be doing my shit, like, as long as I did my work.
Custodian, dick.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you. But yeah, pretty much. So you had to clean the bathrooms, right? Men and women's. And I'm going to just say
women
this.
are gross. Yeah, you could say it. It's fine. Women, you're gross. I don't know how you put on this demeanor in public where you're clean, and then your bathrooms are nasty, and when you don't keep your bathroom clean, like automatically, I judge whoever keeps their bathroom dirty, and it's not all women, but there's more nasty women than men when it comes to the upkeep of your laboratory area.
Yeah, listen. All I know is, I clean both men and women's. And men might have issues with like, missing the toilet while they piss, or they may clog a toilet, okay, but women will shit on the not all women. Okay, listen, hold on. I should give a caveat. I'm not saying, first and foremost, don't be sensitive about it, all right? I'm just saying I've worked as a maintenance man who had to clean women's bathrooms. I know I did this for at least 6
clean
months.
women know that there's dirty women.
I did this at least 6 months, okay? I don't know if it's women of all age groups. I don't know if it's all I know is I would go into the women's bathroom and be repulsed.
When I say you're dirty, I don't mean that I think your ass is nasty, by the way. I'm just saying.
It was terrible. It was the worst. I would they would miss the toilet pooping.
Need a hazmat suit to be going there.
I don't know how you do that. Like, it's
Probably because they don't sit squat.
Yeah, well, that's not my fault. All right. And
It is. Well, it's not your fault.
I don't want to
it's your
get too far
problem,
into it,
unfortunately.
but everything you could think of would be on the toilet, but not in the toilet.
Hey, salute to moving on to bigger, better things.
100%. Now, given I do sample shit, however, I do it on my terms.
Right. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how this.
No, I just get paid more to do it.
I don't know how the
essentially.
rumor got started, but no couch in the women's bathroom, right?
No.
Who the fuck started that
Why?
lie?
Why do women need couches in their bathroom? And
I
who
don't
the
know,
fuck-
but that when I first heard it, I was mad. I was like, and mind you, I heard it like fucking beginning of high school type of shit. But like, why the fuck do you have a couch in the bathroom? I would like to sit.
How do you?
Not any-
I barely can fit a toilet in my bathroom. It's so fucking small.
I have never came across a bathroom where I was like, I'm gonna spend some time in here. So I don't know why you would want a couch.
I
there
didn't
anyway.
know. Well, okay. So like that's neither here nor. Listen, all I'm saying.
If we're
is-
talking about the bathtub, that's a different story.
Oh no. No. So listen, I worked in an office building downtown Chicago, right?
I'm okay. Listen, if you're talking about spending time like sitting on the toilet, that's a different thing. I'm talking about I'm not just going to kick it in the bathroom. Is what I'm saying. So I don't need a couch in there because if I'm sitting in the bathroom, I'm on the toilet and then I'm gone because it's a bathroom.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I mean, I would go there to just chill out. So the best thing about this bathroom was, let me just paint this picture. It was on the 24th floor of this building, right in the back corner of a floor,
Right.
right, kind of like off to the side. You walk in, there is a vanity, right, and there's some lockers, and then the nice size room, not a huge room, but like a smaller room. Like I'm talking about like a nice sized
You
bathroom.
surely paint a picture.
Like a nice sized bathroom, right? Like a
Right.
nice sized bathroom. Nothing like lavish, but a decent size. There's a door that when you open it, you can close it, lock it from the inside. It's a shower room with a toilet in there, right? And like it's like double, like it's so secluded in there. Like so, I would end up like sitting in there for an hour. Like, oh, I gotta go. Like your legs be asleep.
Productive employee, you.
Well, I mean, I'll be done with work, and there's times where you're just like, if I'm down there, they're gonna ask me to do things.
It's true.
So I'm just not gonna be down there, and I'm just gonna make sure down there, meaning our home base in the building, essentially.
It's nice when out of sight, out of mind. Really.
Oh,
It's
that
beneficial.
that was a nice bathroom. I wish I had that bathroom at my house.
You know, I always laugh.
I'm closing 2 doors on you, motherfucker. Just let me be.
When I first turned 21 and started going out, I started dying laughing early because like you'd go to these clubs that I don't really dub them as A1 clubs, but
A1.
but they have people in the bathrooms who are like, here's the soap. You want a candy bar? It's $7. Like we'll take a tip.
That
I'm
may
like-
be the most awkward interaction you'll ever have. Like, so
like, dude,
if you're not gonna tip that guy, right? So let's say you're drunk. So usually you have like, when I'm buzzing, if I got some, I'm a little more generous, right? So like,
So I try
let's say
not to have cash.
you
on
get
me.
out of yeah, that's the word. So you get out the bathroom, right? And or you get out of the toilet, you do what you think, and you're washing your hands, right? And the guy's there, and you're just sitting there, you're just like, man, I hope he doesn't fucking just try to pass me a toilet paper, right? Not a but like a paper towel, like, or no. The funny thing is, you'll go to start the thing, and he'll go to pump some soap in your hand. You'll be like, if I let him pump this soap into my hand, I'm officially his like, I have to find a way.
Nah, fuck all that. Listen, if you're in there and you're working in a nightclub and it's like fucking midnight,
Okay,
and,
so-
people are drunk, and you know what? Don't
So
expect much
what's
out of
the
me.
etiquette here? What's the etiquette, right? Because let's say, I mean, you're at a place.
I'll tip if I buy something from him, like I'm at a restaurant.
Listen. You're at a place for 3 hours, right?
Mhm.
Let's say back in the day, you're at a club 3 hours. Let's say bars, you can 3 hours. You're there. You go piss how many times because you're drinking a lot.
And it
Let's
used
say
to be.
Let's say you make it to the bathroom 4 times because you have broken the seal and peeing is what you have to do.
To be fair, it used to be more regular to have cash on you for tips, right?
Oh yeah, they're fucked.
So people don't really have cash on them nowadays.
What do they do with
either.
that job now? They're just there.
I don't know.
Like, dude, I told you to stop coming. Nobody's
They have
tipping
those
you.
fucking square things. I've seen this. They have this.
Oh, dude, I'm
like,
not
oh,
sitting-
here you can just.
I got to sit there for 45 minutes and get a $4.99 a transaction because you want to get 4 cents a tip. Listen, I don't like it. But either way, I'm saying you're there for 3 hours. You go to the bathroom 4, possibly 5 times.
Mm.
Every time he pumps soap in your hand and gives you a paper towel, do you not give him a buck?
No.
So
Listen.
what? How awkward does it get after you're like, dude, stop
All right,
fucking
let's
doing
think about
this?
the spread that he has on the counter, right? He's got like cologne. He's got like candy and gum.
It'd be the worst cologne. It'd be like Brute.
The one thing that I would expect him
Brute
to have.
and Stetson.
The one thing I would expect him to have is the one he doesn't have is like condoms. Like they used to sell condoms in bathroom vending machines.
Listen,
right?
hey,
I would think that they would
let
put
me
that
just
in
tell
a
you.
club
Let
bathroom.
me just tell you something, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a condom from a guy's countertop in the
Listen,
bathroom of a
me
fucking
neither,
club.
but I'm not buying anything from
midnight.
him at that point.
But I'm definitely not wondering where the condoms are at.
No, but I'm saying
I want to go buy
if
the
I'm going
sealed
in there,
box.
that's what I would expect to see.
Not me.
Like when have
Not
you
I.
ever okay.
Maybe
Have
some
you ever
lube.
gone into the bathroom back in the day and they had
Hey,
like
we
the
don't
vending
need lube.
machines?
These girls ain't dried up old hags. They're ready to go.
Bro, lube? It's fucking creep shit, man. But no, have you ever gone into the bathroom like back in the day and they had a vending machine and it was for condoms and for some reason they had probably like dryer sheets, maybe like
Condoms and dryer sheets is a fucking.
It was really
sick
weird, right?
combo, man. I
But-
don't think they ever had combo the condoms with fucking dryer.
at one
sheets.
point they sold cigarettes in them shits. But I'm just saying they never had a vending machine with candy bars in it and a Coke.
candy bars.
Not in the bathroom. So why does he have that shit in the bathroom?
I find it weird that he's in there in general for the whole time. that
I
we're-
appreciate the ones.
Dude, you have to spend your whole 8 hours in a bathroom.
I appreciate
like
the ones that are
it's like
pretending to be
Babs.
doing things and
It's-
staying busy.
It's Kramer's mom. It's bad.
The ones that I don't like are the ones that have a chair in there and they just sit there and watch you the whole time. Like, bro, this is not the job for you. Like,
I don't think that
nobody wants this.
It's like, how much could you really be making in a night?
That's what
Nobody
they're
is
counting on
that
the tips.
generous to give you that much.
Do you think they're contractors?
No, like
They're like, yo, I got these candy bars and some cologne shit and some aftershave. Do you mind if I come in here, set up in your bathroom? work
I
for
don't
tips?
think they ask anybody. I think they just be in there with like they just set up shop and the guy just be like,
they pretend like they're a club
I'm just
goer.
tired of fighting this fight. You could just stay.
Like, do something in there. Do some magic tricks. I don't know. It just feels like a weird situation.
Do some tricks.
Like, oh, can you guess which card is your card? I don't know. Something.
Like, dude, I'm trying to take a
I don't-
shit
I don't know what
in the
mag-
middle
I
of a
don't know what
club.
magicians do.
Just let me be because I'm trying to be discreet already here.
Like, there's some chick out there. I'm
Have you
talking
ever had to
right
take
now,
a
and
shit at a bar?
I won't do it. I won't do it.
I don't know that I have.
Usually, like, all right.
Of course, you don't want to, but I mean, have you ever had the like, yo, I have
No,
to
because
go?
we're talking about Chicago, right? That's where we live at. So we can go outside of the bar.
Take a shit outside?
No,
what
no,
the
no,
fuck
no,
is
no.
wrong with
I'm
you?
saying you can go walk a half a block
you
down.
fucking sick fuck.
You can walk half a block down to a restaurant with a cleaner toilet.
Yes.
So I will not take a shit.
You got a
in a
bathroom. You got to go
club.
number 1 and number 2.
That's what you got to do. Yeah, no, I'm not taking a shit in club.
I was just asking.
Think about this.
I'm
all right?
okay. So
Think about your maintenance job, okay?
maintenance job, bud.
At Costco or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
So you had to clean up bathrooms of people who were just shopping. They weren't drunk. They didn't have nasty like diets like before they went in there. They might have,
Is
but
that what the attendant should be doing? Hey, if you're gonna be here, why don't you just clean that up real quick?
or police
motherfucker?
people like, hey, put your ass on the seat.
Are you looking at me? You're watching us while we take a shit now.
I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, yeah, just be less nasty. That's all I know. We can conclude that there because that's. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about. See, every time I pick up the phone, then the next topic that I had in mind pops up. What do you think about? First of all, salute to the jury on the trial for Derek Chauvin. 'Cause fuck that
Hell
guy.
yeah! Fuck Derek Chauvin,
Fuck
motherfucker.
him.
Yo, you saw, man? I was at the gym watching it in silence because it's the gym and there's no way. I was like, I wanted to turn the volume up, couldn't anyway.
Yeah.
But like, as I saw them say guilty, his eyes looked more and more confused at what had transpired. And then when he left, did you see his hands? He was like, I saw the man
I
that
didn't
is
watch
shooketh.
any of it.
He
Honestly.
looked shooketh.
I didn't
I
watch
was like,
one single
yo,
bit of this whole thing.
Fuck that motherfucker, man.
Because
But yo, finally they fucking got it right. At least with the charges being actually brought and him being charged.
let's just hope this sets a precedent where people are held accountable.
It's
And it's not so
you're
far.
that is a listen, it's a small step forward. It's given it's a small step, and that is something. However,
Yeah.
I just think that it's dope that it was gotten right for the first time. We'll take the victory right now. Sentencing is soon.
Yeah.
We obviously that's another battle, but for now, fuck him. Fuck everything about him.
Mm-hmm.
Happy that they finally got it right. Rest in peace.
Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck
Rest in
the
peace.
man that supplied you in the first place.
Word. And rest in peace. And shout out to George Floyd.
Absolutely.
And everybody we've lost in the last year to police violence.
And now the ugly side is that
Also,
the
there's
last 2-3 weeks has been a uptick in this, right?
it has,
So-
but I also gotta say that there is also more violence just being happen. Like it's just people are like it's just been bad lately, and
There is.
Chicago and everywhere else. It's just been it's been crazy. It's like with COVID happening, we always experience it in Chicago after the winter time. There's like an uptick in violence because everybody been in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's been in the house because of COVID. It just seems like everything is just going crazy, man.
Gangbangers getting itchy out there.
Not even that, like the mass shootings that
police
are going
getting
on.
itchy out there. Clearly,
There's so many mass shootings happening.
dude, that's another story. All right, I don't want to get too deep into all this.
we won't.
I want to say rest in peace to everybody who's
Yeah.
lost their lives to any of that. It's all a bunch of bullshit. But what I want to get to is LeBron James, right? So he made a comment. The shooting was in Ohio, which I would imagine.
What
is
the
reason
one of the
why
most recent
the one that he
mass
was
shootings?
talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
There's again, I've been just a larger amount of these type of events happening right now, but there was one of the shootings. I think it was like it might have been the Adam kid who got killed, 13-year-old kid, yeah. But and maybe that's why I thought Ohio, because Toledo, Ohio. Don't ask me where my brain goes. But so LeBron tweeted, "You're next," something like whatever, another hashtag about justice, right? And because they were no, the one he was talking about was the cop who shot the girl who had the knife, who was gonna stab the other little girl. So basically, like, he's getting crazy amounts of backlash because basically they said he jumped the gun and that one was a different story.
Yeah.
And blah, 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 blah. What do you think about that? What do you think about the backlash that he's getting specifically?
Well, you got to realize that everything you're going to say now on the internet will never go away, and that's your responsibility to act, with that knowledge. So, yes. What did he say?
He said, "Your next hashtag justice." I don't know specifically like what the hashtag was, but that's not important. The main thing that he was getting backlash was because he said, "You're next," talking about that cop. And that came on the heels, obviously, of the Derek Chauvin ruling.
There's a lot of components to that, right? But I will say that aside from that, him receiving backlash, he's got to understand that he's on a a large platform. He is one of the largest platforms and huge celebrities in the world.
Yeah.
So whatever he says, even if it's out on the Twitters for like a few seconds, somebody's going to screenshot it and it's over
for sure.
For him trying to delete it and hide it.
My main thing is just like that particular the idea behind the tweet itself, like not how he went about it.
Yeah. You're not.
It
That's also
catching it.
like. I mean, I get it. Like at some point, you can't fight fire with fire, but like what's his name, Lil Baby said it. You can maybe turn up the flame some.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll say this on LeBron. There's a lot with him that I disagree with, just because I don't I don't necessarily care for much of LeBron. This particular thing, I don't really care for the backlash that he's receiving.
Oh, he shouldn't receive. Listen, the backlash is
regardless what the situation was where the violence took place. I'm still a huge proponent for the fact that even if you're doing something illegal, the cops should not be murdering you.
Oh no! I think
they need to use. They could have tased that girl.
Possibly,
first,
possibly so. And listen, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I don't know. I've tried not to go too far into it because it's just a lot of when you hear the headlines, it's like, damn, another. It's just another one, and it's hard to absorb another video of something like this happening.
The hard part is there's kids now. It's like
they're kids.
It's happened to kids
but
recently.
Like I guess from the other perspective, it's just like she was going to stab that girl, and if you don't stop that, then.
But there's so many ways to like take her down.
I get it. I get it, but I mean. Again, I don't know.
Throw a brick at her head.
I think that
like,
in
don't
that, in
shoot
that particular
her and
instance, I don't know what you're supposed to do. I do know in the other scenarios where they are shooting unarmed and, for the most part, not threat human beings, in their backs is fucking ridiculous, and like that's why like this situation's a little different. You guys who watch already know where me and Adam stands on this, so I don't want to get too deep in on it. But
yeah, I mean the main focus was
LeBron. Yeah, right now, I mean, but it's hard not to go into that.
Yeah, for sure.
But backlash he should understand because of what the day and age we live in. Does he resist?
I don't
think
it's him like being upset about the backlash. LeBron gets a lot of backlash.
No, I'm saying,
from the media
I'm
anyway,
just speaking on the backlash.
I'm just saying, like the backlash itself, I believe was just uncalled for. I mean, I understand like people wanting to.
He's a public figure, and he's saying
for sure. And
about
trust me, I normally am with you there, where I say, hey, when you're in the public, you give people the right to pretty much judge what you do in the public.
And I think in this case, there's no different. You got to be objective about it. There's no difference here. He's going to receive backlash. You got to be okay with what's happening, happens with that. Because you've decided that you are going to take a stance that not a lot of people will like.
I don't disagree there. Again, it's just the on the topic itself. Like there's a climate that we're in. It's a sensitive topic, 100, but
it's a sensitive topic, and that's the problem. There's both sides of that, and somebody's not going to like it, and they're going to fucking see it real quick. They're going to screenshot it, and now that's going to be the narrative, and now people are going to run with what they want to run with.
Let me just tell you how badly sometimes I wish that we were back into the pre-technology
Dude, I hate it here.
It's terrible.
I hate it here.
I'll be watching shows like, for instance, I've been watching Everybody Hates Chris a lot, right? And Everybody Hates Chris. It's a show that's loosely based off the childhood of Chris Rock, right? He narrates it, and it takes place in the 80s, and it's him like from I think the age of like 13 to maybe like 17 or some shit like that. I played out over like 6 seasons in Brooklyn. He was in Marcy, right? Like I think
I forget where in Brooklyn they had him placed, but I know he's from Brooklyn.
Yeah. So, but basically, like you just when you're watching it and it puts you back in that time and place. You know what I mean?
Simpler times.
Right. So, like, first of all, you're talking about in the 80s, the internet. I think it existed, but it was like used as a corporate.
It was made for
IT things.
Yeah, it was made for like essentially intranet, like
right, very specific uses.
Yeah, within the company, within the small network of folks. Nothing crazy.
People communicating overseas, like shit like that. But
Y2K came and boom.
Yep. There wasn't cameras everywhere.
Oh my
people
God.
didn't have phones with them everywhere.
You know how
much
I hate speed cameras?
Yeah, so much. Just, I mean, obviously to some degree, technology has helped in certain aspects of life, but like,
it's gotten worse and worse with everything with every new outlet for some dipshit to fucking put his fucking own 2 cents in that doesn't. There are some people that I am a firm believer in. We should never.
And mind you, we're 2 dipshits putting our 2 cents in.
Yeah, but not that. But listen, I'm a firm believer, and there are some people in this world that we should never hear their 2 cents, nor even know that they're here. Like you should stay under the radar, right?
You should just be quiet,
right? Some people are fucking dumb. Like it just is what it is. Like I don't know. There's a certain thing called common sense is not common anymore. I get it. However, you can't tell me that you don't look at this situation and see the same thing I see. We're not 2 fucking different species. You're not an elephant. I'm not trying to explain to you how to fucking I don't know.
You'd have better luck with an elephant.
Probably so. Maybe that was probably a terrible shooting basketball.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I don't know if you guys have. Well, that's why I say to follow my damn podcast Instagram page.
Follow my fucking Twitter, man.
I put a little video out there of me shooting hoops in my house. So if you're interested in what that means, go look.
Like, when you jump, some shots whack. Though I will say I'm terrible at this 14-foot rim. I can't shoot on this shit for nothing. Adam just can't shoot for shit anyway.
Nah, that's wrong.
Anyway,
But,
I do think we should take a break. For those of you who don't understand, we have to take breaks in the middle of the podcast now because we have a
If you're a new viewer, some more information to enlighten you. If you're an old viewer, I mean, you could probably just fast forward for the next 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But all right, we will be back very shortly.
Fitting for DMX to go out. That's the way he probably asked for it to happen.
Hell yeah. Better throw me on the back of a fucking monster truck. That shit is dope.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Rest in peace, DMX.
Yes. Let's begin to return podcasting.
That one's a little less rehearsed. You can tell it wasn't as
Yeah.
polished as the first one. He didn't
I
think.
say let's return to podcasting. I don't. There's not really a way for that one to sound as good.
Already when you sound so bad.
Hey, listen. Fuck you. Fuck you 2 times. Yeah, so we're back now.
We are back.
So we were talking about LeBron, I think, when we were finished. So let's get off of that particular subject matter.
Oh, for sure.
But let's move into some sports things.
Cool.
Sports things happening. Number one, I would just like to continue the ritual of saying "fuck Nike's sneakers" app.
Oh yeah. Well, then we're not definitely not getting into sports because we're going to be talking about sneakers. Because fuck them. Listen, why won't you take my money? All I want for you to do is take this measly little $200.
I'm just trying to pay you. I just want to give you my money so I can take these home and wear them.
But you're making that very difficult for me. I don't get it. All right, listen. Why are you making it so fucking difficult? It's like Nike makes it seem like they can't control things. Well, I don't know what to tell you. What the fuck do you mean? You are the people that are setting the numbers of the production.
I've been on some of the most unimportant websites that had verified that you are not a robot. Why can you not do that?
Dude, let me just tell you, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, why is everything now a draw? And who is who is making this draw happen? This random drawing of names or accounts, because the shit's getting ridiculous. I've been bidding. I've tried for shoes that I wouldn't in my fucking life wear.
They think that that's going to circumvent the bot activity, but they're wrong because you can still have a bot and have 3,000 different
it's
options
the
into
same
the draw.
Idea. Okay, so if you guys, anybody out there now is into the sports card craze, what Target has done has been trying to figure out a way to battle the reseller, to circumvent them coming and just depleting their whole stock, right? What I think Target is failing to realize is even the normal guy is coming to deplete their stock, if possible now, because they don't know when the next time they're going to actually get cards is.
Mind you, if you're not going to Walmart, depleting a stock on your own is not a thing anymore. So.
And for those who don't understand, we're talking about trading cards, basketball cards, football cards, things of that nature. They are big again. I know if some of you are our age or my age, you know that right around in the 90s there was a huge boom of trading cards. Now it's around again, but it's with a new company named Panini. We've discussed this maybe very surface, but anyway. The idea is that Target is trying to stop the reseller, right? Because the reseller exists almost in every era, or not era, every avenue of hobbies that is possible. You turn down any street of a hobby, you see a reseller in line. And most of the people that you see in line are resellers.
And that's the thing. To give you an idea, everybody before technology has had something that they've waited in line for an obscene amount of time.
First come, first serve.
They're exclusive shit. That's what cards are now. People will be at a store for 5-6 hours waiting in line, hoping that they can at least score one box.
Right,
it's
talking
literally an addiction. One box for hours.
And to be clear, we are talking about, yes, cardboard cards you see come out of a pack. They've just
Yes.
become such a commodity. There is a large boom in value. Everything is up. Well, it was up a lot more during the pandemic, which fueled
Mhm.
the hobby's comeback.
Well, they call this a alternative asset class. Same thing with sneakers, right? Like your typical the boomers, right? Just to categorize them easier. They invested in stock and invested in whatever business ventures they could. Like their investments were different. Our investments in this generation, like shoes and cards, are the same thing. They you get them, they're valuable when you first get them. Certain ones, obviously, and then that value just continues to grow and grow and grow, and people are looking at it as retirement funds. You see like regular stories of cards selling for $100,000 plus,
Dude. Easily, quick. Like you go on eBay right now and you look up any player that is of a big name, and again, this is the industry is hype driven or speculative, right? More than anything. So cards go up overnight. Some cards go down overnight. What I'm talking about in regards to how it relates to sneakers is the fact that resellers exist everywhere, right? And the problem with resellers is the technology created that is called that allows them to use these things called bots that are way too advanced for me, some of my intelligence to try to.
Yeah, we don't need to take it to that basic level.
I mean,
research it.
It's something that they use. It's a program they use on the computer when trying to buy things online, right? That
it's technology that will pull the trigger for you
quickly in a nanosecond, and has alerts set to if a restock occurs, they can jump on it.
This could all happen while you're asleep, and now you just came up because your bot, got some kind of notification, and the people who like have to do it, as like mind you, the people who spend money on bots are expensive.
Yeah,
so
they're prevalent mostly. Well, I think they were created for the sneaker world, right? To be able to get shoes, again for the reseller, so they can, they can sell, they can acquire while we're all, hitting that buy now button. They have a bot set up where it can buy 10s or 20s of shoes in an instant. Mm-hmm. And now the reseller has bought all this at a retail price.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, all of the resellers have all of the stock. Meaning the regular Joe Schmo can't get it. So then what happens? Supply and demand. Demand goes up. The value goes up. Now you got to go for the fuel. The secondary market is fueled, and the reseller is able to basically dictate what they're paying. I mean, they can manipulate a market.
And mind you, like a lot of this bot technology, some of it's like thousands of dollars to buy, right? So your average
and more
shoe
than that is like base cost. You have to maintain it, and some of these bots don't last long.
People will maintain that shit for you. Like there are people who will host
like
it
the
and
proxy.
Do all that.
Is that what that's called?
But so like the average consumer who's just trying to buy one pair of shoes because they want them for their collection, you're not going to go and buy a bot because it's not worth your money, right? But the reseller, they're going to be like, yo, of course I'll spend $3,000 on this. Like, I'll make that back in 2 pairs of shoes.
You know how many people have probably started off as normal collectors, and through the acquisition of a bot, just because they were like, I just want my shoes, have become probably big resellers. And I mean, it taints everything. It's kind of how I felt about fantasy games on fantasy football, basketball. I'm like, I don't want it to ruin the sport.
You should pardon yourself as you.
Yeah, excuse me. I didn't know if I did that or not. Resellers are, like it's taking away the fun of the game.
The resale game is a love-hate thing because without the resale game, a lot of the value that these things have won't be a thing.
So the fun is gone.
Right.
Right.
So you need the resale market, but the resale market has, and of course, like it just has an unfair advantage. It's like when you're an individual day trader and Wall Street has stockbrokers to take care of all that for you. Like it's just the
you're
difference.
You're just not going to be able. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have
the ability really. I mean, you don't have the connection, and it's just unfortunately that's how it's a good metaphor for life. Like
exactly.
So
no, and that's the problem. We're just really getting down to like hobbies in general are becoming so exclusive and so built off so much like literally exclusivity and hype that it's hard to even enjoy these things
you
anymore.
Need to already have money to be involved.
Capitalism has literally destroyed every fucking facet. I said from now on, I'm just literally just going to start taking walks That's the only hobby I think you. I mean,
and it's good for your heart. You better eat a bowl of Cheerios as you walk.
yeah, right. Some Cheerios and fucking pop a fucking
Cheerios, the only thing you could still get in the store as soon as you walk in.
right. So, what else am I supposed to do? Like we were talking about it before the podcast began. We all, you all build, especially in a year where we just had with COVID, right?
Yeah.
You build a collection of hobbies. Not that you didn't have any before, but for instance, me and Adam, when we were kids, it was basketball cards, right? But it was always sneakers too.
Yeah.
But sneakers didn't have the same. It was always, man, I wanted that, but I can't afford that.
Sneakers, yeah, exactly. Sneakers, $200 a pair. A pack of basketball cards is $2. So it's like you're gonna get what you.
Weren't $200 until a certain point.
There were still sneakers.
They were high. They were in the 150s, but $200 was probably once. If I remember, the first $200 pair, I could be wrong. I could be, but I think the first $200 pair was like the Jordan 18 or 16 or maybe 14. 14. No, wait. Let me take that back.
Maybe
what's
the
one?
foams.
What's the one with the like the what do they call it? Like a cover over it. It's like number. So it's not 14. It's not 15. It might be the 16s. I think the 16s. They came in like a briefcase. I think it was they didn't come. $200 pairs didn't come till that late.
I'll be honest. After like the 14s, they kind of start to deteriorate. And
I know. I love the 15.
There's certain ones. There's certain colorways, obviously, but like to me, the look of the shoe is not as
they start
nice
changing.
After you
they
get, to
get
like
a little
15s.
bit out there. They do. But again, they weren't. It was exclusive. It was exclusive. Excuse me. Call. It was exclusive, but it wasn't necessarily that. It was you didn't have them because you were denied the ability to get them. You were denied the ability because you weren't in you didn't have the means to do such a thing, right?
Well, it was money, and it was like again that would be you waiting in line.
Pops wasn't having that, right? Like we weren't.
You had to be out.
My first pair of Nikes came, I think, 6th grade, maybe 5th grade. You know what I mean? And like I got one pair of shoes a year, and if I had a hole in them joints because I didn't know how to do.
And they did a lot of like midnight releases at that point, right? So you'd be in line at like 7 p.m.
It was midnight, but I think not even beyond that. It was morning releases like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. early in the beginning. The first pair of Jordans I ever stood in line for were the Mars 4s, the Fire Red 4s, but they're Mars edition, and 04, maybe 05, I want to say. And I stood
in line maybe twice, but like at Woodfield, just
no, I've stood in line. So that was the first time.
Yeah,
and we were at Lincolnwood, and it wasn't too many people in line. Like I remember being like 6 or 7 guys.
Yeah, we
stood in line. We all got our shoes. I remember that. I don't remember standing in line too much more because I did buy shoes in between, but I didn't buy anything that was just so hard to get. Like, a few times I was at like finish line, they'd be like, "Yo, you pay today. I'll make sure you have them tomorrow." Cool. But this was around times where it wasn't so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The next time I stood in line was the Concord 11s, I believe, or maybe it was the Cool Grays. I forget which one came out when. I think the Cool Grays came out the second, and the Concords came out the first. So 2010 and 2011.
Something is missing from my collection.
Right.
Concords.
I stood in line there, and maybe the Concords came second because I stood in line for the Cool Grays in Nike Town, right? And then the next year was the Concords, and that was the year that everything changed. That's the year there was so much because that was the first time they retroed them in a long time, and there was a lot of violence that happened, a lot of bullshit, man.
Yeah, that's
Nike Town. I remember the fucking
used to be
line.
rumbles.
The line.
People getting killed for shoes.
Dude. Luckily, I was the first. Like, I was able to be within the first 100 people because of the idea of I work downtown, so we walk down there and we'd be in line from 7 to midnight, chilling.
I would like to take this moment to shout out to.
So I've been doing this a little bit, just so y'all know.
Shout out to the plugs I met. Word to Benny. The guys who they worked at Foot Action or Foot Locker or whatever, and through whatever connection, I was able to meet them and got a couple pair. It never lasted long,
It
but
never
it was
does.
always like 1 or 2 pairs that I was able to get that like I paid way below retail. I got them without a hassle. Shout out to those guys, man. Y'all made the game so much easier for me for a couple times. Like,
dude, I got it. I'm telling you, 100% like that. But that is gone. There's no more of that. Just like it is. Again,
there's still that though.
we keep jumping back and forth between. It is, but only for certain people. You're not most people can't get that connection anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just not the
you
way it
gotta know
is.
somebody.
Even if you know somebody that works in a shoe store, they know somebody else that. There's a few people that are asking for the plug. Are you going to get it?
Sure. I guess it depends where you rank in that person's life, or if anybody else is asking for
Exactly.
it.
Or what are they going to give you a premium?
Yeah.
Right?
I got those Venom Green 10s, and I'm so mad because they look like shit now. But I'm like, I'm not getting,
No, it's a nice shoe.
I paid like $120 for those shoes.
See, and the getting that is always dope, but there's that feeling's gone in sneakers. The here for the love type of it's all fucking commercialized
Yeah.
and it's created some sort of like it's like a corporate feeling to this.
Which again,
shit.
I mean, it adds value to the shoes themselves.
Cool.
And it's a necessary evil.
We don't get none of the shoes that they're adding value to.
Agreed, but I mean, I have.
When's the last time you won on sneakers?
Last time I won? Shit, let me look right now. It wasn't that long ago, I think, but I don't think it was a pair.
How many times have you won in the last year?
Listen, I've been trying to get.
Because we've been saying we've been trying to buy a lot. So what have you gotten?
The last ones I won were this can't be right, shattered backboards. So the 4 shoes that I had that apparently I bought from sneakers. I thought I had more than that, but maybe I just didn't use I don't know. So anyway, it's the pair of Scotties, these red joints. I don't know what the actual.
What
name
happened?
of
Well,
them
where'd
are.
you get the purple, the court purples, which I still want. So we're gonna have to keep talking about. But
Finish Line, I want to say.
oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, Finish Line. I have a higher success rate.
See, no, I don't have any success rate on any of them, and I'm tired of it. I have a 0%.
I keep failing, and I just can't take it
the
anymore.
the last shoe I bought.
Why are you so mean to me?
Why are you so mean to me? No, I the last pair I bought were the Fire Red 4s, and before then, I couldn't tell you the last time I won on sneakers. I'd be losing so much.
Fire Red 4 is a nice win, though.
Yeah, 17 years ago. Listen, and then the thing with cards is now Target again. Going back to that, if this is boring you, we apologize.
I was gonna say, I know we're going on a little bit about this, but like, if you ever waited for concert tickets, if you like any,
this is a
you can relate to
frustration.
this to some degree, and if
frustration
you can,
they've felt.
skip ahead a little bit.
They felt this frustration. Before.
Right.
So
Pretty
Target now is trying to find a way to combat this, right? So they've gone from a limit of they've limited how many you can get. Like it was like at 4 of each at some point,
Yeah.
and then it went to
one of each UPC.
yeah, well, there's some that are 3. Either way, they've tried to find a way to stop resellers from being able to make come in or stop them from making money. So stop them from coming.
What
to
they
get
fail
to
to
the
realize is the resellers are unemployed because this is their job, right?
Yeah, this is
so
what they do.
like what they were doing is, hey, Fridays 8 a.m. That's when we're putting everything out. Be here.
That's
or
when
be
all the
square.
resellers are.
Yeah. They're like, be here or be square, and they're like basically saying fuck you to the average collector. Like every time I'm fortunate enough to find a box, I rip up open. I look at the
Right
cards,
away.
I keep the shit. I'm not trying to immediately go post shit on eBay, but the people who do that, they have the unfortunate advantage of being fucking lazy sacks of shit and not having anything to do with their lives.
Listen, the point is really
Fuck them.
this: that most of having a hobby nowadays is expensive, no matter what it is. But a lot of hobbies are even just impossible to be able to take part in. Like it's almost impossible.
Like guys, even golf has like clubs that the average Joe can get into on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And golf is an exclusive club. Like they have clubs.
It's nuts.
I think that's where the
Listen.
original idea of a club started.
I just think that honestly, at some point, like the reseller game is gonna either destroy these industries, or the industry is gonna have to find a way to fight it back. And though they like places like Nike and all of them are trying to pretend like they might be, I'm really not convinced yet that they are. I think that they are one and the same for the most part, the reseller and the manufacturer. Like Panini, for instance, which is the manufacturer of cards, like the trading cards.
Suck on my dick 2 times.
They will list an SRP, right?
Fucking hate Panini.
SRP of something like 150, 175 bucks, but they on their site themselves will list the product for the resale value, which can be 10x.
Which ultimately drives up the resale value even more because now people are trying to make a profit once they buy that.
It's a tainted industry.
We've talked about this, but Panini knows what their value of their shit is. You know?
And I mean, you can't fault them for that. And then
I do fault them for that. Fuck you. Sell it for your normal ass prices and let the resale market do what the resale market does. Nike does not post shoes that cost $1,500. That, to their credit, they're not like, oh, we're going to take what we know our value of our shoes is and sell it for that value off the bat. What they're doing instead is doing backdoor deals and not letting the public get the shoe at all.
But that's still as disrespectful.
I mean, it is, but they're not trying to, like, the average Joe does have success stories and they don't pay resale price from the app.
Yeah.
But Panini is like, yo, we know how much you're going to sell these for, and instead of you making it off the bat, we're going to make it, and then you're going to make more money off that because you're going to hurt the little guy again.
Listen.
It is what it is. Let's end this stupid segment by talking about sneakers a little bit early. What are we rocking today?
Today, so I know that everybody loved the Vapor Maxes. Believe me, I love those fucking things too. Adam even admits that they're a nice kick. We were talked about it when I first wanted them.
It's a little too much bubble for me, but
it is okay. Like so I will say about the Vapor Max, there is a large bubble. It is,
bubble. And I'm usually like a proponent of the bubble. I like the bubble in shoes.
It's noticeable. Is that Daniel's car?
No, I don't know who's out there, but there's
revving their engine.
Somebody got a little Porsche Carrera out here, and they were lighting it up earlier. I was like, all right, cool.
That's nice.
Bitch.
No, so the first time I wore those, when we left to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So I wore them to the airport, and I had them on throughout the flight, and I had them on when we got to Puerto Rico. I didn't wear them again until we left. I didn't really wear kicks out there. Like, it's too hot.
Yeah.
So I will say getting used to that air bubble, and actually the shoe in general, takes a little bit of time. Like the bubble, you are sitting up a little higher, so it does. If you stand on uneven terrain,
you gotta step down from your shoes.
It does do that too. But when you stand on uneven terrain, there is a little bit of a learning curve on how it feels, and the break-in process is a little bit much. But they are dope shoes, clean, and I really, really, really love the style. I think I'm gonna buy one more pair, but I think I want to buy the white joints because they just look really nice. The air bubble's like that blue tint. So it's not 100%, white.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was trying to wear them today, and I was like, I just don't feel like forcing the outfit because I just didn't. I was like, I got to do some laundry. So like, I
know why you wore that shirt.
Why?
Because you think you're slick trying to match the colors of your hat with the little yellow and red.
I didn't realize that till I was in the car. I was like, man, I am fucking.
Yeah, but you had to wear a competing podcast shirt, and I call it a competing podcast because listen, I have a theory that Joe Budden listens to our show and steals our subject matter and talks about it to his wider audience.
This is wider,
not whiter, wider.
I was gonna say that
WIDER for those of you who are tone deaf.
I think that this is just a way for Adam to try to get us go viral, but I'm with it.
No,
anyway,
listen,
we go
viral.
Back to the kicks. Mm-hmm. I wore the Air Max 97s. These they're like the Sprite joints. I have these, and I have the LeBron 11s. I think, maybe 12s. The lows in the Sprite as well. I think I've worn them on the podcast before.
That's very nice.
But yeah, love these shoes.
Care about LeBron.
The Vapor Maxes will be back. Just give me a little time. I don't want to. I don't want to like beat a dead horse.
I'm trying to wear them out,
I'll do. I did want to wear them out.
Word. Well,
don't even ask me how.
Brought the penny threes today. A little grandpa looking ass shoe.
Aren't those the penny twos?
Nah, I think they're a penny three.
Okay.
But they look like a old dad shoes about to go play badminton.
Yeah, they are big.
But there's like it's like an ugly pretty shoe. It's not maximum ugly, but when it's ugly, it could be kind of ugly. I don't know.
I wouldn't use maximum ugly to describe any penny shoe.
Yeah, for sure.
They are very bulky. I don't wear mine very often because of that idea. Like they're just kind of. You
can see how crisp white these are. I think you don't wear them that much either.
They're just kind of a big shoe. Like they're clunky more than anything, which is probably the best way to describe it. You feel like you got bricks on your feet.
Clunky.
It's like wearing Timbs. As much as I love Timbs, I don't really wear them too often because, just to be honest, it's like...
Is this a little penny loaf spot?
No,
I mean, I just thought, because,
it's stitching. You see, there's no way to put a penny there.
well, I wouldn't anyway, but I was just wondering.
You asked?
Because I thought it was ironic because, Penny Hardaway and then like penny shoes and then pennies in your shoe.
Aha!
Anyway, so, but yeah, that's what I got today. Not a shoe that I rock that often, but I do like them. They have their place.
I like them a little bit. They're pretty good.
I got a pretty large Penny Hardaway shoe collection at this point.
What you got?
Well, I got a couple pairs of foams. I got Penny 4s. I have 2 pairs of those. I got these. Five pairs.
Hold on 1 second. I think I gotta take a look at my voicemail real quick.
So
I got action.
I got 2 pairs of foams. The ones I wore last week, and then the eggplants.
I do be forgetting foams are pennies.
I fuck with those. The eggplants, man. Pause, but wherever applicable there. The eggplant foam posit sneaker is really what I'm referring to. Hey, you know what? I always laugh when I'm watching Chappelle's stand-up.
And he slaps it. He's like, ah!
Ridiculous. And then 2
It's
pairs.
just because he's dying at his own joke. That was making
Like, you can tell he thought this was hilarious when he came up with it.
Dude, that's probably the best jokes when you're like, oh, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be tremendous.
That's like usually most of his stand-ups.
Oh, dude, Chappelle is a
his
legend.
credit, he's
Legend.
good at that. So yeah, the foams.
Genius.
2 pairs of the 4s, and then these 2s. All right.
2 foes and the 2s, with the 127s and the 99s with the pennies.
2 foams, 2 foes, and 2 2, and 1 2.
And you got 7 pennies.
Something like that.
All right, cool.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at with the sneakers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep looking at them. Anyway, so let's.
Anyway, my pines.
I'm not trying to steal them, and I think I'm leaning towards the purples if you were down with that. But you'd have to tell me what you want because I want them. Anyway, so I was thinking recently about how nobody huge in the music industry is really releasing anything.
I think we talked about this last week, and how I told you I believe that the anthems for summer are coming.
Yeah, I know, and I'm still telling you that it just seems like they're not.
It's April.
I'll say this: currency's working, but currency's always working.
Currency is always working. Ghost
Spitta
is always working.
Is always working. Ghost
is always working.
Face?
No, Styles.
Oh, I'm like Ghostface Killer.
Styles always working. Obviously, everybody in Griselda is just always on the job. So
yeah, I just mean
those people you're gonna always
okay.
get
So
some
who
from.
else?
I still believe the hype that there's a potential Rihanna album coming because she recently just talked
Wrong.
about it.
Wrong.
I think that we'll see something from Drake soon. The whole.
I think you're supposed to. I think we were supposed to see something early from Drake. The reason that he released the Spooky Hours too, was it spooky or scary?
Scary.
Ooh.
Scary Hours too. But what's scary about them?
They were spooky.
We talked about this. There's 2 of them. That's why.
Oh. So anyway, I think he released that for the sheer reasoning that
he wasn't
right
coming with the full
now.
album.
I don't think he's very confident in the idea of that releasing his music.
Did you see
because
that?
you can't tour.
Did you see the song he has? What was it? Was Bad Bunny?
You can't tour.
You see the song he has? I think it was with Bad Bunny, right? Or he's
Bad
like
Bunny,
singing in
Bad
Spanish.
Bunny.
Listen, I never want to see Drake singing in Spanish.
Bad Bunny.
It's I don't get it.
I don't want to hear him singing in Spanish either. Don't look at me.
I was watching a music video yesterday. We were having a conversation like, oh, it's funny because like music videos, for instance, I used to have the top 10 106 and Park countdown. They give you like your freshman whatever, like the try to put you on something.
106 and Park doesn't get the praise it deserves, man.
Dude,
Freestyle
that's
Fridays.
where I used to look at to get the new music. I mean, music videos used to be a huge thing, right?
Hell yeah.
They still are now. Is the
Okay.
funny thing. And
on YouTube.
yeah, they're all on YouTube. And like I feel like there was a part of time there where I just forgot that music videos were a thing, and
Most people did.
because we used to watch MTV Jams, like that shit would just be on, and we'd watch a music video after music video. And
TV Jams was dope. They had like for a certain time they were really good at playing all of the dope musics like that, but they were around during that little John Crunk era, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Being me click.
really, it was like
I'm sorry, he's gonna have to turn that down too.
BET is really BET was really the thing.
Okay.
What? Between your Rap City and your 106 and Parks, like that BET is where you went for your music videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but specifically, so there was an era of the basement hits
Right.
from the street.
Mm-hmm.
I believe was it Sita's World, if you guys remember that. She was like the cartoon character that
Yeah.
played all of that. There was like BT had and then 106 in Park. BT had a lineup of music video based shows that were meant to battle. Like BT,
And when that wasn't on, they either had the PJs which was a great show.
so 106 in Park was like BT's answer to TRL, right?
Yeah.
But to be
But
honest,
better.
TRL, though it was such a it was around for so long, culturally, I feel like 106 in Park was. I obviously people are going to debate it, but it was such a huge impact. You would look on it, you would see like how people would come up there dressed. You would see how what the new music video was.
Mm-hmm.
Freestyle Friday was dope. They had all these little segments that they came on. Free was bad as fuck.
Yep.
You know,
and they always had a featured artist that they would play one of their like debut videos or whatever it is. Like
there was a time. Remember, fucking, it's crazy, but Bow Wow fucking was Mr. 106 in Park. He was he always kept the number one.
And
That's
then
why
Terrence J became his replacement.
Dude, people cannot. You do have to put some respect on Bow Wow's name, even though you may not like it.
Yeah.
He is, though he's my age, maybe a little younger actually. He is an OG in the culture. Like
he's been around 20 plus
dude,
years.
Bow Wow was rapping on stage when most of us was just like in class. So
he was like 9 when he did like Mike.
you got to give some respect to Bow Wow and what he's done. I mean, he's corny and he does his thing, but let Bow Wow be, man.
Hey man, Bow Wow,
bow to the wow.
Bow Wow beat Christina Milian, man.
You can't.
So,
you can't even be mad at that.
props.
Yeah.
Props.
Faux show. Yeah, and so that 106 was a cultural phenomenon. Like, dude, it was a thing you watched all the time. It was on Monday through fucking Friday.
So
dude.
here's the thing, right? TRL was music, MTV, music television. It actually was music television for a while, in life. It didn't just become reality shows. But TRL was every genre of music. They had like whoever was the big pop star coming on the show, and whoever was like the next big name, and they did interviews with them and whatever. And 106 in Park was hip hop.
Yeah.
And R&B,
it was different. But I mean, it was influenced by hip hop culture,
right?
Which is, which is the biggest culture in the world. I don't care what nobody says.
And when 106 came out, it was
a
the
fucking phenomenon.
Hip hop
Phenomenon or phenomena? Phenomenon, right? Because one.
I'm assuming that the one that ends with an A is for multiple.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
You're an asshole.
Scientist.
Excuse me, scientist. But yeah, so that, I mean, like, yeah, this, because I don't know how we even got to that point, what we were talking about, but sneakers maybe?
Well, we segued from sneakers after we talked about this.
Yeah, either way, if you remember the era of 106 in Park and all of that, man, shout out to you, because that was a dope-ass era that doesn't get a lot of its praise.
Even pre that, like,
no, 100%.
We were kids, like, getting ready for school. I remember watching MTV Jams in the morning.
MTV Jams was
fucking
crazy.
Having like Michael Jackson's latest music video coming out, like that's the era. You know what I mean? Like you had You Are Not Alone and shit like that. That was when he did what did he do for Space Jam?
Who?
MJ.
Michael Jackson?
Mm-hmm. He did something for it, right? Because I swear there was like a music video with him in there.
No, I'm pretty sure you're
Maybe
wrong.
I'm thinking R. Kelly.
Yep.
Another reason why I can't 100% cancel him. Sorry.
Don't know how you just confuse him. Well, maybe not. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. But anyway.
I believe I can fly. I'm sorry. I'm not going to not listen to that song.
I'm not going to go even to what I was going to say.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
The world knows what you're saying.
The world knows.
The world agrees.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Just a different time, a better time in my opinion. You can't see, but on the top of these things, I bought a couple of records, right? And I think I really just personally miss the era of music where you had hard copies that you collected.
Oh, I do too. I still have
Got-
all of mine, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, me
do
too, for
intend
sure.
to display them correctly one day.
Me
I
too,
just
sir.
don't have a man cave, and I don't have the shelf to do it.
Got to go digging in a parent's basement looking for the other cassettes.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Certain
Man,
things that
we've
we
been
gotta make
doing.
sure are preserved well.
Well, I've been doing this, and then in turn, Adam's been doing this for a long time too. Because
Did you think that I would just not do it, regardless whether or not you existed?
who knows? You may have like Green Day or some shit.
No, never that. ain't my steez, man.
Whatever. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, that. So, but yeah, man, I don't know. I don't really have too much else to discuss. We're let's just all talk shit to Sam for a minute because I would like to say fuck you
yeah.
to Sam in 97 ways for going on his second vacation in a month.
Listen,
the same
can I
place.
just say that? All right, fuck
To
you.
the same
First,
ass
shut up,
place.
man. Let me at least
No. I was introducing
what's going
this
on
topic,
because it's
so you
my
can address
story,
it when I'm done.
so I can talk about it.
I'm just saying,
real quick.
I just want to
Hey,
say fuck you.
You, that's cool, but I'm still going.
Fuck you.
So listen, I don't normally go on vacation. Adam can vouch.
We discussed it to let you guys know. But there still will be an episode next week.
Oh wait, we've talked about Puerto Rico already again.
No.
Oh,
Well, we started saying, oh, maybe we should address why, like, what's going to happen.
yeah.
But we moved past it. But yeah, he's going back.
I'm going back to Puerto Rico.
Going-
I'm leaving on
going
this. I'm
back,
leaving on the
back.
2nd, so we will get the podcast out. We're filming it a day early this week coming up.
It
The
doesn't
week-
matter to you when we
The week
record.
the week after that, we're going to we might have to record a few days after we normally do. So the podcast may come up a day late, but we're going to try to stay on schedule. I just want to give myself a few days when I get back, just to be sure everything's cool, and then I'll come here on probably Tuesday right after work, and we'll record a podcast. Adam can try to do his best. We'll try to one take it.
Yeah.
So Adam could just literally dump it onto to the internet.
Gonna dump it onto the net.
Yeah, but I'll be in
Take a
Puerto
dump on the
Rico
net.
again. Listen, the flights were cheap, really cheap, and I'm not even somebody who does that. Like, who gives a fuck? But honestly, it was just a dope place. I need another few more days before I start making some.
Who doesn't feel that way?
Adam knows we got some shit we're trying to get done in this year, and before we start doing that, I need to really adjust because we got some.
I take back
Look at me, Mom.
I take back my invite to you on my vacation. I'm going solo.
Do we not got some shits coming up?
We got some shits.
Then shut up and let me enjoy my shits.
Listen, man, I'm just letting you know. My vacation is now going to be a solo
That's
one.
fine. I can't afford another one after this right now, so don't worry about
But
it.
the tickets were cheap.
The
But the tickets were cheap.
Well,
The tickets were cheap.
tickets were cheap, but the hotel was not. That's where they get you. But I basically got there for like $1.50 and some envelopes.
Anybody with some
like,
anybody with some any experience staying in an Airbnb, please comment below and let Sam know that it's not
I will
something that's
say. I
terrifying.
will say.
You're gonna pay
no.
a lot less money.
I've
for the
stayed in
week.
one. Some may feel me, but I think staying in a hotel, right, during this time specifically, but just in general, I like to come back to a freshly cleaned room, new towels, make the bed.
I don't know if that maid has COVID.
Man, that bitch
You
better
clean
not
this
have
shit.
no fucking COVID.
The Airbnb people, they usually have cleaners come in between every person who stays there.
Yeah, but what
And
about
then-
in the between? What if I'm there for 5 days?
Who
Now I gotta
cares?
stay in
Then,
my
then
own
at
filth?
least you don't have any strangers coming in
But
there.
I'm staying in my own filth.
You stay in your own filth daily.
Okay. So here's also the issue. Out there, like because I'm coming in with like sand and shit, like the floor gets all sandy. Now I gotta sweep. I'm on vacation. It's true though. You get in bed and you got sand in the bed because your feet's got sand all over it. I ain't with that. I don't want sand in my bed.
All right, man. I don't really care what
I
you
rock
say.
sand in my head,
I'm just-
but don't call me a sand head.
I was trying to give you pointers to save money. So if you don't care about that part, then by all means,
I do care,
live
but
how
to
you
be
want to live,
all right, look,
kid.
man, fuck it, whatever.
You going on vacation twice in a month?
Then it's
shit.
gonna be what it is.
You
Then
got it
man.
like that. You know what
Shit.
I mean?
Fuck it.
Shit, man.
Fuck it. All right. Anyway,
Two chicks at the same time, man.
who the hell's gonna do that?
So what would you do with $1 million?
Nothing. I think like we've got nothing else for these people.
No, yeah, pretty much. All right, well, hey, listen, that's been episode 90, and we appreciate you tuning in.
Always.
Always for show. We appreciate you whether you watching, listening, visiting for the first time. This is the last time you're gonna ever come here because you fucking hate us, or if you just like whatever the case is, whatever demographic you fit into, shout out to you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you
Love,
stopping by.
you know?
And like he said, if this is your first time, please, if you liked what you've seen, subscribe, man, and
We should
tell
be
your
saying
friends.
these in multiple parts of the video. Like, hey,
Always.
subscribe. Hey, subscribe. Yo,
Yeah,
let's
but
take a break from this
honestly,
topic.
I ain't
Subscribe.
trying to beat
Yo.
their heads off.
No.
Pause to us trying to get some fucking subscriptions. If you like us, subscribe. If you like,
It doesn't matter whether
and
you
if you
subscribe
really
here or
like
not.
it, if you really like us, tell your friends. That's really what it is.
Word. I don't care if you subscribe at YouTube or not because we're about to start a Patreon soon.
Patreon coming
again, like,
very soon.
With guys on the pod traveling multiple times a month, I don't know how to
Hey,
start
dude,
a Patreon
I don't
successfully.
travel. I'm basically getting all my travel out in the first couple months of the year. I'm done after this.
Anyway, the announcement that I would like to
I've been
make.
gone from the pod like 4 or 5 times for traveling.
Not even true.
It's probably true.
Anyway, listen. The one announcement I would like to make before we close here is we are going to start doing post-pod shows that will be Patreon exclusives. So if you're interested in what kind of nonsense we get into there, come and check us out. Again, I'll let you know when it's out. But we're getting some things together. We're getting some nice little content out there. And by the time we have what we consider to be a sufficient amount, the Patreon will go up. I just pulled this out of my ear anyway.
Yeah, we're thinking at least we're with the post pod, right? That's at least one piece of content a week extra.
Yeah.
Right, which is very easy because we do plan on doing that right after the pod. So that's something for sure. So for sure 4 extra pieces of content, probably 30 to 45-minute extras. And then we got other things in the works, but we want you to know that we are trying to build multiple extra pieces of content.
Yeah, we've gotten to all that. We're not going to do it again. So basically, we got some things.
It's in the works. Period.
We'll catch y'all when we put it out there.
Catch y'all on the flippity flop.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in to episode number 90. Make sure to leave a fuck you to Sam in the comments, please. I appreciate it. And then we will catch y'all episode number 91.
Don't be mean.
And on that topic, 1.